Hey everyone, Trifecta Growth Institute here. I'm with Tony, who's been in the construction industry for over 30 years. I mean, started out as a framer. He worked his way up into project management. He worked for home builders. He's actually a star too. He's been on TV shows. He did all the work behind the scenes for a very popular TV show for quite some years, and he's been in the restoration industry now for going on well over a decade. As a project manager and an estimator, he's a general manager, and so he's seen the full gamut of how things happen within the restoration industry and the construction industry. So today I'm going to talk to him and kind of get his take on a few things. Tony, thanks for sitting down with us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Rod.
Yeah, absolutely. You've had a very luxurious career. And one of the things that, being a previous restoration owner, and also being a member for insurance carriers, a lot of insurance carriers are looking for great customer satisfaction, very low cycle times, and they're entrusting that you're going to do a good job for them so that their members are satisfied. What do you think the toughest part of that is, managing all those different stakeholders?
The toughest part of that is because there are so many stakeholders involved that you are trying to satisfy the needs of not only the TPA, but the insurance carrier themselves, and then the customer themselves, which would be the homeowner that's had the loss and has probably more vested interest in the whole process than anybody because it affects them directly. And so trying to manage all of that along with any requirements that you need to manage through your own company. So it's a juggling act for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I guess one of the things that, the restoration industry has a certification for water restoration techs, and it also IICRC certification that's mandated that companies have so that they have a very good confidence level that they're following EPA procedures and that they are putting certified and qualified people in homes of their members. The one thing the industry doesn't have is a certification for project management or estimating. And one of the things that Trifecta Growth Institute is implementing and trying to do is elevate the restoration industry to where we will have certifications, so that when we have a company that shows up to a carrier's member's home, that they have the confidence that they have a subject matter expert coming in their home. Do you think the industry needs this type of mandate or certification?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I feel like, with the TPAs and the insurance companies, they're utilizing the TPA and relying on the TPA to provide an avenue to take care of the needs of their end user, which is the homeowner that has insurance through that company, and really that's putting trust in them. And so then the TPA has to put trust in the company that's actually doing the work. And so they're vetting the companies that are performing the work and are on their program. And I think really to be a leader in the industry, one of the ways to do that is through certifications. Mm-hmm. And so if you have certifications and you can provide that you're certified to do a certain task, I think that just gives your company more merit in the program, more merit.
I agree with you 100%. I think back, some of the jobs that we would get sometimes from the insurance companies, or we would have an adjuster give us a call and they would always ask, hey, we have a job that went sideways. Is there a way that you guys can pick this up? And, it was one of those things, I always kind of hated that conversation, because now then you're really going into a bad situation, right? And so you have a couple options. One, you're going to be the hero, or number two, you're going to have a very difficult time getting over what that customer's always experienced, right? They already have expectations. They had some expectations, they were not met, and now then you've got to come in and say, hey, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to do it better. I'm sure you've been in these situations, right, Tony?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the previous contractor? How did they get there? From that perspective.
it's really hard to say because you're not part of that process, so you don't you don't have firsthand knowledge of how they got there, but you can listen to the customer and you can hear them talk, and you can you know, if you understand what they're trying to tell you, and that may take some digging, and it may take some patience,
Right.
because they definitely aren't in a good place at this point in time when this happens, and they're really frustrated with the process so far. So I think the biggest reason that I see that people get in that position, it's going to be a lack of communication, and then lack of execution.
Do you think having some formal training for estimators, project managers, project coordinators, how they communicate with a customer, how they put those processes in, do you think that would help
Yeah, I
set
do.
a better expectation, better situation with the customer?
Absolutely. As you go on down the line from, you know, from an estimator to a project coordinator to a project manager, going through the classes trains them on how to communicate well. And then it also, and communication isn't just verbal.
Right.
And so even from an estimator standpoint, it starts off with, you know, how to communicate through your estimate, what needs to be captured and what needs to be done to put the house back to pre-loss condition. And then it also talks about or provides an understanding of how then you can communicate that to the customer on you know, what you see, what you're going to write for, and then potentially do they have any questions or concerns, or do they feel that you've left anything out? And really that's where the whole process starts.
Yeah, from my perspective, even before I before I got into the restoration world, you know, restoration industry, as an owner, you know, we always had a level of expectation, and certifications have always meant something. When I was in the military, you know, as a Green Beret and even as a project manager in that piece of it, a lot of times, you know, that certification or that amount of training you went through, it meant something. It gave people an automatic level of confidence that you were a subject matter expert, that, you know, they could trust you, that there was a high level of expectation just by having that type of title or that aspect of it. Looking at it from a customer's perspective, if a company comes into my home and one of the first things I see on there is that they have a certification, it seems like it would put me at ease better. And it would make me have confidence that they knew what they were talking about. Whereas I know a lot of times, you know, we focused on that, educating the customer, but I think a lot of companies may not. As you become a customer, you know, what would that mean to them if you could show that?
Well, why wouldn't that instill confidence in a customer? Right? We all have insurance, homeowners insurance, and you know, sometimes bad things happen, and even to you or I.
Right.
And you know, if I'm looking for somebody, I'm gonna research, and I'm gonna look for whom I think is going to be best qualified to meet the needs of what I have currently.
Right.
And certifications speak loud.
What do you think that would do for the industry professional, such as a coordinator, estimator, project manager? What's it going to do for them on number one, a very direct level, and then even more so, how's it going to help them grow and create? What kind of other benefits is it going to give them?
Well, as from an individual standpoint, I mean, all that does is makes them better at what they do because they have formal training. They've met the requirements. They've passed any testing that you know, may need to be taken. And it from a personal level, they're more knowledgeable about what their job duty is, and that translates into, in my opinion, it makes them more marketable.
Yeah, I think so as well. Credible, marketable.
Yep.
It's gonna speak volumes to not only to the customer, but if they was to move to another part of the country, or they went to another restoration company, or it automatically, they have instant credibility that would help the owner or whoever the hiring manager is say, you know what, I kind of have a level here, right?
Absolutely.
Like a benchmark of what I'm getting,
Yeah.
which I don't think that happens very much now in the restoration world. It's kind of hard to
It
be
is.
able to, you got to sift through that, you know?
Yeah, and it's hard. I mean, as a general manager, when I'm looking through resumes, you're trying to figure out what is going to make somebody stand out before I even talk to them.
Right. And from a company perspective, I know me as owner, what I see is value in that, but what would be the value of you having a team full of certified individuals, and what would it mean to the company?
I take a lot of pride in what I do and what our company provides. And because of that, I oversee a lot. And personally, I feel like if I had employees that had the training and had the knowledge, that would free me up from reviewing and going through the steps of what they take and making sure they've done everything right and have they hit these points. I think with the formal training that just allows me to have confidence that they have, and I don't have to backtrack through that and make sure they did,
Right.
and then I can concentrate on other things.
So it saves time.
It saves time, and it would make, I feel like as a general manager, it would make me more productive being a general manager.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the two I would think too: time and productivity. I mean, because
Absolutely.
Those two are that's how you make your money, right?
Absolutely.
We got to get it done quickly. We got to get it done correctly with good quality, and then with a high level of confidence that we're not going to have any callbacks or rework.
Right.
In that piece of it. Well, great, Tony. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it today.
No
It's been
problem.
great talking with you.
Appreciate it, Rod.
All right. Have a good one.